Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the first Nahhh of the year. Nahhh is a heartbreaker. It's what we call as close but not so close, or close but not quite there. And pretty much my Nahhh series is a bunch of heartbreaking battles, truly heartbreaking battles. And we're going to kick off the year with the VK168, one of the ugly tanks in Tier 8 that nobody likes. It's probably one of the worst Tier 8 tanks in the game. It does have a lot of hit points now after the hit point buff, but it is a kind of meh tank. So Samuel, we're watching Samuel here, and he's on mines. Now, he's actually going to play the tank really well. He's going to get a shed ton of block damage, as you can just see there. Literally hardly anyone penned him right now. Now, this tank can bounce. It has got armor, but you just need to angle it in a certain way where you're not showing your weak points. And that's very hard because the bottom of your plate is quite weak. I mean, there it gets penned all day long. Well, almost all day long. And obviously, as soon as you start turning your turret, the side of your turret becomes weak as well. So it's a very hard tank to play. But Samuel has still managed to pump out so far 1400 damage, and he's managed to rack up 1200 block damage. So he's done pretty well. He's done pretty well. But what he decides to do now, he knows there's quite a few tanks around that area. So he's just backed up, reversed all the way. He didn't turn around there because obviously he would be showing his rear to quite a few tanks. And he's decided to push the hill. Now, there is a Comet here. He's going to get a nice shot there into the LTTB, putting him on a one shot. So him actually turning round has managed to save the Comet for a little bit. And it's stopped a push. It stopped a flank from these tanks. Now, the ISU 152 is there, as we know, probably one of the best guns, or if not the best gun in the game, with the BL10. He's now put him down to a one shot. This Comet needs to be very careful. Now, he's going to ignore the LTDB for now because the ISU 152 is the more dangerous target. And now he's going to go for the LTTB. Unfortunately, by the cap area, his team are not, since he sort of reversed up, his team haven't managed to hold that corner. But he is trying to get the hill. There is the T-34 one there. Lovely roll into the rear of him. It takes care of him, but now the push is on towards this side. The enemy have pushed around. It is a 3 versus 4, and there's one cap, one base. I'll get it out. One tank that is capping. So at least we know it's not quite now a 2 versus 3. At the moment, it's a 2 versus 2 because one tank is taken out of the game. But him capping, that tank capping is gonna put pressure on these two tanks. Obviously, the Comet is very low hit points, so he has to reset the cap. But it's gonna be difficult to reset the cap when they have two tanks flanking around. Now, he is going to try and focus on the Annihilator. Now, he is a dangerous target. And of course, he is coming around. Now, the Comet is trying to go for the cap. He's trying to go for the cap, but he can't really see the tank. He can't really do anything. There is a heavy tank on the cap. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do much on the hit points he's got. But the cap points now 77. The Comet is trying to go for the Annihilator. He has to take out the Annihilator. He needs to do it. There he goes. He does manage to take out the Annihilator. But the IS-6 has now brought the VK168 down to a one shot. He needs to reload on time. 96, 97. Where's this freaking tank? 98, 99, 100. Ooh, that was close. That should have been a win in my opinion. They reached 100. That's the aim. The aim of the capping is get to 100. But he literally reset the cap on 100. Now, this deserves a win in my opinion. It deserves a win all day long. But with the Pantera, the auto reloader, and the IS-6 coming behind, there is not much Samuel can do. But still, 2k block damage, and he managed to rack up 6,400 damage. Unfortunately, if that was going to be a win, he would have got over 7,000 damage in a tier 8 tank. Absolutely crazy. Well played to the Annihilator as well. He did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, the VK on his team did absolutely nothing. But well played, Samuel, well played. Next up, we have Phantom in the M103. Now, this is a tier 9 American tank, and he is up against some tier 10s, 5 tier 10s. So he is bottom tier. There's only a couple of tier 9s. And again, he does a fantastic job. The M103 is actually a really good tank. Doesn't have as much armor as I'd like. I do think it should have a lot more armor, or a bit more armor than it has got. But it's got everything else. It's got DPM, it's got speed, it has got a nice turret. So you can't have everything. And he's actually gonna play it brilliantly. For a tier 9 in a tier 10 game, he's going to play it brilliantly, and he's actually going to lose out on quite a bit of the damage this game, just because he couldn't hold on any longer than he does. So he's chasing the Batchat T, the tier 10 Batchat, around this left side. Of course, there is the Leopard PTA here as well, and you can see the armor doesn't always work in this tank. Even when you are hold down, it doesn't always work. But he's pushing. He's going to try and load up the HE there against the Leopard, 300 odd damage. But now he does have backup. But if you look at the minimap, the team are pretty separated. His team, the enemy team, are all separated. So them two tanks here fighting these two medium tanks. They should be able to deal with these. The medium tanks are now quite low hit points. There goes the Leopard PTA. If he can get the shot off, there we go. And now it's just the Batchat around this area. Nice shot there from the T92E1. And now all of a sudden there is an IS-7 that is isolated with 3 tanks all chasing him. He should have gone the heavy side, but he decided he wanted to go with the mediums, but he didn't push as hard. He should have pushed hard to help his mediums instead of sitting back, because all of a sudden there's 3 tanks on him. Of course, the Sheridan, the tier 9 version, the T92, and the M103, but there's not much he can do when he's in the middle, getting circled by the Sheridan. And here I would give up. Well, he's still trying to go for the Sheridan here. I'd give up and just go for this M103. But now it is going to be too late for him. He's still, I mean, he could have at least backed up to the wall. He could have backed up to the wall, but nope. The Sheridan does manage to take him out. So all's looking good at the minute. There's a Death Star here as well. The Mouse is on his own, but I mean, he's bleeding hit points. There's still a lot of hit points left, and that is the E100, the E75. There's still a lot of hit points, and of course a full hit point Death Star over there. Hopefully he doesn't get shot. Oh, did you see how close that was? That was close. That was very close. That would have lost half of his hit points if he would have been hit by that. There goes one Death Star. Unfortunately, half a second earlier he would have managed to save the Sheridan, and that would have still been a 4-on-3. And even though the Sheridan was low hit points, he is still a danger. Unluckily for him, he does get shot from the side. I believe that was the E75, who I have to give a shout out to this game. He does a fantastic battle, the E75 on the enemy team. His win rate isn't the best, but win rate means absolutely nothing. Like global win rate doesn't mean anything. I mean, his 30-day win rate could actually be 60-70%. But he does a great battle this game, and he deserves what he gets at the end. So at the minute, it is a 2-on-3. Doesn't want to get shot from this Death Star. The Death Star's not looking at him, so he is going to take the opportunity to get that shot off. There goes the T92 E1. Unfortunately, he does get shot from the Death Star, which is going to be the change in this game. I don't know if it'll be a change. I think it could still be a loss even if he didn't get shot, but he could have got a lot more damage if he wouldn't have got shot from that Death Star there. But the Death Star is gone. It is now a 2 versus 2, but his Death Star is very low hit points, and they still have 2,750 hit points to get through from this E100. I'm not sure he can quite see this E100 here now, but if I was these two guys on the red team, I would just push. They have plenty of hit points left. Plenty of hit points to deal with these two tanks. The miss there from the E100, so he is able to load up the heat, get another shot. 5.5k damage now, so he's already done a decent amount of job. He's blocked 1,500 damage. Time is still 2.5 minutes left, but the E75 has now started pushing, and they are starting pushing together. So that means the Death Star needs to get a shot off, but unfortunately the E100 does kill him. So now our Phantom guy here is all on his own against these two tanks. What's that? 3,000 hit points to get through when he's only on 600 is going to be a tough ask. Nice track there on the E100, nice a bit of damage as well, enables him to get away. Now the M103 does have that speed boost as well, so you are able to use the speed boost to get away from that E100. 6.7k now, but he is a one shot to both of these tanks, and the armor, I mean, the armor on the E75 is just too good, much better than the M103, but unfortunately doesn't manage to do it. Almost 1,700 hit points still remaining, so he could have got massive damage, but he still ends up on 7,100 damage. And fair play to the E75 on the enemy team, who also gets an ace, and he's 50% win rate and he still manages to get that ace. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye. With